What up, everybody? Welcome into Hockey Says. Great to have you with us. As always, brought to you by First Community. You know our friends at First Community. Get there today. Find the branch nearest you. Do your banking the right way. Sign your son or daughter up for the Little Blues program. It's the best program going if you want to introduce your son or daughter to the game of ice hockey. That's what I did. I would say probably at least 2/3 of the kids on his team, and this is their first year entering AAA, started hockey with the Little Blues program brought to you by First Community. You get a good number of skates, great instruction, and all your equipment comes with it. So when you sign up and register, guess what comes in the mail a few days later? Your stick, your skates, your skates too, helmet, pants, elbow pads, shin pads, everything. You don't need to go out to the hockey shop and get anything. Everything comes in the mail right to you, and you're ready to rock and roll on your first day of Little Blues. Sign your son or daughter up today and see if they want to invest a lifetime of memories into the game of ice hockey. And before you start spending lots of money, you can make that decision as well. Do you want to test the waters first? I think you should. Great show for you today. Jakub Dobeš, welcome in all the Montreal fans. Great to have all the Quebec fans who are tuning in today. I'm sure there's lots of them. With Jakub Dobeš joining us. I've known Jakub for a long time since he played with the U18 AAA Blues. I'll never forget when Lubos Barteko, very good friend of mine, played for the Blues, but he had a distinguished international career. I mean, you go look at how many Olympic Games he played in and World Championships and World Cups and all of that. He was a big part of that Slovakian federation. And it just so happened that his agent was also representing this kid by the name of Jakub Dobeš, who was 16 years old and living in his native Czechia. So he wasn't even in Slovakia. So there really wasn't much of a connection between he and between Barteko and Dobeš. But nonetheless, the agent was the connector. And we'll let Dobeš talk about the story, but I mean, as the story goes, the agent contacts Lubos, who was coaching with our U18 team with the AAA Blues at the time. And we were looking for a goaltender, and the under 16 team at the time, which would be the team that he would be age appropriate to play for. And it's a great level of hockey. You talk about U16 hockey. I mean, it's scouted heavily, probably the most heavily scouted age group in the United States. You know, the U15 age group obviously is heavily scouted as they get into the USHL. But listen, a lot of scouts watching U16 hockey. Anyway, Al McInnes was the coach of the U16 team here in St. Louis, the great Hall of Fame defenseman. And he already had his two goaltenders selected. So he wasn't going to kick a local kid to the curb to bring in a goaltender he's never seen before who's coming all the way over from the Czech Republic. No point in doing that. But the U18s had an opening. And sometimes that was the case with the 18s because we had kids come and join us who were playing in Alaska. We had kids come who had been playing in Minnesota. So, you know, you're always looking for that second goaltender. You're lucky if you have one. If you can have two, I mean, that's a great situation, but rarely do you have two right off the bat. At that age group, you're always looking to improve. So anyway, he comes to tryouts, makes the team. The rest is history. Ends up getting drafted. He was passed over his first year of eligibility in the USHL, gets drafted the second year, plays a few games in the North American League, goes to the USHL, dominates there, goes to Ohio State, dominates there, gets drafted into the NHL, and we'll let him tell the story. I'm looking to forward to having Jakub Dobeš on, but Jakub Dobeš. But I'll never forget the first time I heard about this kid from the Czech Republic who was coming over, Czechia. And Lubos was telling me about this goalie who had like national team potential. I'm like, wow, but it never made sense. I'm like, really? He's coming to St. Louis? But then when you learn the entire story, which you will hear very soon, you just realize, listen, this was the best opportunity and the best option for him. Then his younger brother ended up coming over. Man, they're like part of the St. Louis hockey community now. Everyone loves these two guys, and very popular players on the teams that they played on. And obviously, St. Louis is very proud of the success that Jakub Dobeš has had and the recognition that he's getting worldwide now as a NHL goalie. This guy came onto the scene and he shuts out the Florida Panthers in his first ever career NHL game. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Then he beats Colorado, like, the next night or the next few nights later, maybe, his next game for sure, he beats the Avalanche in a shootout. Then he beats Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. He beats the Rangers. He ended up winning, like, his first 4 or 5 starts. Just a crazy story, but I'm not surprised. I remember doing a game. I wanna talk to Jakub about this. It was, De Smet versus SLU, I think, championship game of the high school state championship here in St. Louis, Mid-States High School Hockey, for those of you who are local, and, I was part of the broadcast team. I did the state championship game for years and years and years here in St. Louis prior to it being taken off of our airways. It was on Fox Sports forever, then obviously Bally and whatnot, and then the management made the decision to not air the games anymore. So it hasn't been on television in the last 2 or 3 years. But I did it for years, and one of the best, if not the best, goaltending performance I had ever seen came from Dobes at the Enterprise Center taking on SLU. They ended up losing in overtime, but he was absolutely incredible. He's the only reason why it even got past regulation. And he made one save after the next. It was crazy. And I remember going up to him on the ice after the game just to say, man, keep your head up. You were absolutely incredible. So, have always been a big fan of this kid. And then getting to know him personally when he was playing with the 18s was a lot of fun. You know, he scored a goal as a goalie playing midget hockey, midget AAA. I don't know if I've ever seen a goalie at the midget AAA level score a goal before and truly, like, have to go over the top of everyone to get the puck down the ice and into the net and score the goal. So big shout out to Dobes, man. I'm looking forward to having this conversation. I wanted to get him on with me and Cam too, but the timing worked out great for him to join us on Hockey Sense. Jamal Mayers will also join us. We've got the Stanley Cup final now together. Our scheduled first game coming up on Wednesday the 4th, I believe. And it's going to be a rematch. Did I hear Matthew Tkachuk say to Connor McDavid in the handshake line last year, "We'll see you next year"? That's like the most Matthew Tkachuk thing ever, to say, "We'll see you next year." And he was absolutely right. These are the 2 best teams in the NHL. I don't think there's any question that Edmonton's the best team in the West and that Florida's the best team in the East. I cannot wait for the Stanley Cup final. I was excited for it last year because, you know, the Florida Panthers had never won. And, you know, Edmonton, obviously, under the, you know, McDavid era, they had yet to win a Stanley Cup either. There was just a lot of excitement. And then, obviously, you know, Edmonton roaring back to force a Game 7. Florida wins the Stanley Cup. It was incredible. This is going to be a different challenge for Florida this year. Edmonton is not the same team that I saw from them a year ago. And listen, I'll take some responsibility for this and take some heat. Give it to me all you want, because, you know, I kind of poked fun a couple of times during the season in the early going when Edmonton didn't look like they were going back to the Stanley Cup final, let's be honest. McDavid was injured. They had some stuff going on. But, you know, Philip Broberg was unbelievable. He started the first 6 games of the season, getting points in each of the 6 games, and he just looked so good, and Holloway looked good, and Holloway goes on to score 60 points. And everyone's just like making fun of Edmonton for letting these 2 guys go. And then there was talk at the trade deadline that Edmonton was looking for a puck-moving defenseman and like a offensive, you know, scorer, somebody who could, you know, put the puck in it. And everyone's like, well, you gave them away. But here are the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup final. And, yeah, they brought in Arvidsson. They brought in Jeff Skinner. Skinner scores his first ever career playoff goal last night. Just his second career playoff game. He's been in the league for like 20 years. It's like crazy. But I think if you were to say to Jeff Skinner, hey, you could have made the playoffs every year of your career and never win the Stanley Cup, or wait 15, 16 years, whatever it's been, and then win the Stanley Cup, I think he would take the second option. I would, at least. Although it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, you play 1,000 games in the league and you never get into the playoffs. You're never on a winning team. You don't know what winning feels like. I don't know if I could honestly deal with that, even knowing that there was a carrot dangling in front of you and that you were going to end up winning the Stanley Cup later in your career, deep in your career. I just don't know if I could deal with losing year after year. But here we are, and Jeff Skinner scoring goals in the Western Conference final, and now he's playing in the Stanley Cup final and has a chance to win a Stanley Cup. This is going to be the second year in a row we're going to have a St. Louis kid win the Stanley Cup. Trent Frederick representing St. Louis, playing for the Edmonton Oilers. He didn't expect to be there when the season began, just like Brad Marchand didn't expect to be in Florida playing for the Stanley Cup when the season began. And here we are. Those two players are going to face one another. Frederick, man, he's getting healthier and healthier by the game. You can see him getting around the ice with a little more comfort, a little more ease. When you have that high ankle sprain that he was dealing with, man, that takes a long time. Those are nasty, nasty injuries. So I wish all the best to Trent Frederick and obviously to Matthew Tkachuk. I love all these guys, man. I love their families. The Fredericks are unbelievable people. The Tkachuks are unbelievable people. Very close families. You know, Trent Frederick and Brady grew up very good friends. Trent was a 98, but Brady was a 99 who played up a year and played with the 98s for a long time. I don't remember if Trent ever played with the 97s. I don't think he did with Matthew, but nonetheless, the dads know each other very well. Awesome people. Bobby Frederick, big shout out to you. Grant, everybody, man. Gene, Gay, the whole crew over there with the Fredericks, man. Pulling for you guys for sure, just as I am the Tkachuks, man. I would never bet against a Tkachuk or root against a Tkachuk. So, you know, Keith, Chantel, they've been here before. Matthew, obviously, a bona fide superstar in the NHL. So, and one of my favorite players ever. So, this is going to be a great battle. And a St. Louis kid's going to win the Stanley Cup. So, in reality, you can't lose, but you hate to see these guys go head-to-head against each other. But it's going to be a great, great Stanley Cup final. I can't wait to talk to Jamal Mayers about just the level of play that we're seeing from Connor McDavid right now and Draisaitl. You know, Draisaitl last year, I think, had a little bit of an injury that he was playing through during the playoffs. I'm sure he's probably dealing with something now, too, as nobody's really healthy this time of year. Everybody's dealing with something, but he looks healthier than he was a year ago. Or maybe it was a couple years ago that he was dealing with some nasty injuries in the playoffs. Nonetheless, Draisaitl, he's ready, and so is McDavid. This is going to be a hell of a knockout, drag-out fight. Edmonton made some changes defensively. They're better defensively. Their goaltender's on top of his game right now. They've got great veterans who have been there before. I look at a guy like Corey Perry, man. This guy's been to the Stanley Cup final how many times? I mean, last night was his 231st career Stanley Cup playoff game. I mean, that is just an incredible number. He's getting up there with the Lidstroms and the Chelioses and these guys who just played an absurd amount of Stanley Cup playoff games. And at 40 years old, man, this guy is still scoring goals. Got another goal last night. He's got 7 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He's been to the final with Montreal and lost, and Tampa Bay and lost, and there may be another team mixed in there where he went to the Stanley Cup final. Should look that up, Corey Perry, and where he actually lost. He's been to the final so many times, man. He did win back in 2007, early in his career, when he was playing with the Anaheim Ducks, that great Anaheim team. We had Chris Pronger on with us last week. Check out all the old episodes, by the way, of Hockey Sense with Andy Strickland. You can find any of the old episodes. We had a great conversation last week, Pronger and I. But Corey Perry, let's look up, because I'm forgetting another team where he went to the Stanley Cup final recently, because it kind of became a theme here where if you wanted to make the Stanley Cup final, then you signed Corey Perry. I don't think Dallas made it to the final, did they? Montreal did for sure, and Tampa Bay. Maybe he went to the Tampa Bay to the final twice, man. I was trying to remember. I guess Dallas did go to the final. I don't know. He played 27 playoff games that year. I'm trying to remember, but nonetheless, good luck to Corey Perry. Somebody correct me and remind me in the comments. I appreciate all the comments we get, too. All right, so Jamal Mayer's coming up next. And then Jakub Dobeš, Montreal goaltender, joining us later in the show, man. Looking forward to that. All right, First Community brings us Hockey Sense each and every week. Just like all our friends over there, Lordo's Diamonds. Get that special someone, something special in your life from Lordo's Diamonds. Mike and Jimmy Lordo, the best in the business. They've been around for almost 70 years. Right next to Truffles in the heart of Ladue. 314-432-8008. Had plenty of late nights at Truffles. Used to be our spot, but we just stop in there on the way home. Haven't done that in a while. But go into Lordo's Diamonds and say hello to the whole crew, specializing in everything. So if you have a $100,000 budget or a $500 budget, they're going to treat you the same way. Best customer service. I mean it, man. Tell them I sent you when you go in there to Lordo's Diamonds right there in the heart of Ladue, 314-432-8008. Been there for a long, long time. Blue Note Roofing. We love our friends over there at Blue Note Roofing, man. David Novak. I mean, this guy is just grinding it. I tried to get him to come in this week. He couldn't make it into studio because they've been so busy. David Novak, the best with Blue Note Roofing. Look for the big yellow truck with the Blue Note on the side of it. You can't miss it. This guy is an absolute beast when it comes to roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, whatever it is you're looking for. 314-920-5713. That's how you reach David. 314-920-5713. That's how you reach David Novak with Blue Note Roofing. So give him a call today. Again, 314-920-5713. All right, let's step aside. Jamal Mayers, he's going to join us on this edition of Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. We've got so much planned ahead, man. Can't wait to dig into this show. So glad you're with us as always. It's our Friday tradition live from Half Coast Studios. I'm Andy Strickland. Thanks for hanging out on a Friday. All right, welcome back to Hockey Sense. Great to have you with us. As always, Friday tradition. Jakub Dobeš. You never know who's going to pop up on the show each and every week. And got such a long list of St. Louis hockey players who have advanced beyond St. Louis, and many have found their way to the NHL. And I include Dobeš in that category. Even though he comes from Czechia and he came over as a teenager, you belong to us now, Jakub. You're a St. Louis hockey player, right? And you'll take that, man. You love it here, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. I come here every summer. It's a great city, great people, a lot of resources, to get better. So it's always good to come back.
Congrats on everything, man. I got to ask you, growing up in the, I don't know if you call it the Czech Republic or Czechia, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but how familiar were you with Montreal and just how crazy of a hockey city it is, and how much they love their hockey up there?
No, it's definitely something that you can't really put into words. It's kind of a religion, It's only hockey, but it's amazing. We had a great season. The fans are getting excited. Our organization is getting excited. So it's a great time. I'm glad part of Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, your story is pretty amazing too, man. I'll never forget when Lubos Bartuko, a good friend of mine, said, "Hey, listen, we've got this kid coming from the Czech Republic. Never seen him play, but he heard that you were good." So like, everyone's like, "Yeah, I mean, absolutely, we need a goalie." So, what were your thoughts when you came here to St. Louis? I mean, were you coming to try out? Like, did you have any expectation at all?
No, I mean, not that many expectations. The Czech Republic or Czechia, not really sure what it is now, but it's different. In the United States, it's completely different country, completely different nature. So I just came to try out, made a team, and I liked it here, and I stick around, and I kind of started my journey or my hockey journey here in St. Louis and Triple A Blues.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So why'd you have to come to St. Louis? Like, let us understand what was going on in your native country. Like, there wasn't like a hockey team for you to play on, or what?
No, I mean there's a lot of hockey back home. I feel like I never really got that many chances back home, and I knew that the best hockey is played either in Canada or United States or United States or Canada, depends. North America in general. So I just wanted to move somewhere where they know what to do the best. So it was a good move. And I since I don't know 14, 15, I've been here, and I really like it.
Hey, was that hard for you and your parents though? Like at that age, did you ever second guess your decision to come over? Were you like, "What am I doing, man?" Like, how much did you miss home? Because I remember talking to you when you first got here, Jakob. You didn't know hardly any English. You couldn't speak English at all, right?
No, definitely on my parents, it's harder for them to, see the kid or I mean, I don't know. I moved since 14, so I feel like usually parents expect their kid to leave around 18, 16, 17, like a couple of years. But I moved when I was, not even a teenager. I don't know how it works, but not even a teenager. So definitely it was harder on my parents, but the first couple, I would say the 6 months were very challenging, you don't understand anything, you barely know any English. So I remember the first 6 months, like from June or July till Christmas, January was really challenging. But after I kind of started picking up the language, and since then I was pretty fine. I was pretty okay, and everyone was really welcoming, and I got a lot of help along the way. So as I said, the first 6 months pretty challenging, but the rest of the year was pretty awesome.
I remember you scoring a goal, man, playing like midget triple R hockey in St. Louis, dude. Like, I mean, which I'd never seen a goalie at the midget level. I mean, midget triple A goalies obviously know what they're doing and they can play, but I've never seen anybody score a goal. Have you scored a goal since then? And is that the only goal you've ever scored?
No, no, I'm 1 for 1. I tried once, score once, so that's guess that's pretty cool. But no, I haven't really tried since then. I will go for it, but it's got to be a perfect time, and it was a perfect time then, and I tried, but the higher you go, it's kind of you try to win games, you don't try to score as many goals, as a goalie.
Yeah, I mentioned it on our Blues broadcast when you came in. You came into the game in St. Louis,
Yeah.
and I remember like going on TV and talking about like you scoring a goal. I was, it just like kind of popped into my head. I'm like, yeah, this kid scored a goal. Because I remember when you scored it, a bunch of people were sending me the video and I put it up on my Twitter and whatnot at the time. So, I mean, I just remember you doing that. So, like a guy like Lubos, man, how much do you keep in touch with him if you do at all? And how thankful are you that your agent knew him and he was able to work this out for you to come to St. Louis?
Not too much. I haven't really all my coaches kind of moved away. They're in a different organization, so I wouldn't say I'm in touch with many of the AAA coaches because I'm not really sure if any of them are honest, like actually in St. Louis based. Like I feel like they just all moved away, so it's kind of hard to keep in touch. But I'm seeing every day Jeff Lovecchio, which I just saw like I don't know 45 minutes ago. So I feel like I'm mostly, Jeff was kind of like our third coach, our strength coach at that time. So I would say I'm mostly in touch with Jeff.
Yeah. And so you're working out with him, man. You're in good hands there with Vex. There's no doubt. Um, so you leave here, man. Like when you go to junior, I guess you play in the North American League and then you end up getting drafted into the USHL, I guess right before
Yeah.
that. Is that when you
I
started to
think,
believe that you had a chance to truly make it as a goalie? Like when did that confidence start to creep in for you?
well, my first year AAA, I didn't get drafted. I had nothing. So that was kind of a setback, because I played 18s at that time and I see a lot of kids your age, moving on the next level. So that was definitely a little upsetting, but I played another year of 18s and I got tendered by Topeka Pilots. I don't think they're no longer a team, and got drafted in the USHL by Omaha. So it was good to have something for the future, but it wasn't definitely anything that made me feel like yeah I can make it to the NHL. It was still a lot of work and still a lot of hockey games and journey to get to another level. So I don't think at that point I kind of had a feeling that it can go anywhere. But maybe my first or second year after college, I kind of knew that maybe I had a chance to play pro here in the United States and Canada.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And you played at Omaha in the USHL, had great success there. I got to go back to DeSmet High School though, because I did the game on television when you played in the championship game.
Yeah,
I mean, like, and you were playing for DeSmet. You stood
yeah.
on your head in that game. It was unbelievable. How well
Uh,
I don't know if I interviewed you after the game or not, but you guys lost,
I
right? Did you lose to SLU? Who'd you lose to?
yeah, so it
Overtime,
was
right?
definitely yeah. It was I don't know. It still kind of not haunts me, but like still wish we could have won that game. To kind of leave the mark at the school because the spot is awesome. They really did take a good care of me, and I kind of just wanted to, um, you know, give something back. And unfortunately, we lost. Looking back, I could definitely play better with the experience I have now. If I'm looking bad at the game, but it's whatever at this point. We
Dude,
tried.
come on, it's okay. It's the Mid-States High School final. I love how you said it still bothers you, but Lubos, or not Lubos, but Dobie, you were unbelievable in that game and gave your team a chance to win. So it's all good, man. You got a great
Yeah,
experience playing at the Enterprise Center, you know?
yeah, it was definitely cool. The last game I played was the state championship, and I played there, I don't know, 2, 3 months ago against the Blues. So that was definitely cool to see how the life works out. It's like you play state championship, and a couple of years you play in the NHL against the Blues. So it was definitely still a good experience.
Yeah. Great experience. I just
Yeah.
remember I was between the benches, and then I know I talked to you on the ice after the game. I don't know if I did an interview with you or not, but I was just so impressed with how you played, man. You guys almost pulled it off. But you went to Blues prospect camp too, one year at the Enterprise Center. I
Yeah.
talked to you at the prospect camp too. I thought you were the best goalie in the camp. Did you ever think the Blues were going to draft you after that? Like, what did they say to you when you left camp that year?
Um. Well, I mean, I did have the talent was there, but I feel like the other goalies were more technical and just more mature because I didn't get drafted until second year, of my eligibility to get drafted. So their feedback, if I remember correctly, was just like, "Hey, we'll be watching you, but just keep working hard," and that's pretty much it. So there was nothing. I didn't think there was much of interest. It was just a good experience to see, um, to see like where the players are at and what I need to do to become better. So I don't think it was anything crazy or special. It was just an experience.
What year was that? Do you remember? Because like they've never had camp at the Enterprise Center except for that year. Was that the year after
Maybe
they won the cup in 19?
maybe 2019, 2000,
Yeah.
because I feel like I got drafted 2020.
Yeah.
So it must have been 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was 2019.
Yeah. I think it was after the Blues won the cup, that summer after they won the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was at the SMAT and they won. Yeah, it was probably 2019.
Okay. So you were just graduating high school, man, at the time.
No, I was a junior.
Oh. Did you
Actually, I got
did you finish high school here in St. Louis?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I did.
Okay. All right, so fast forward, man. Let's get to this season. Like everything just kind of happens. Although I want to give Ohio State a shout out because you had a great experience there. At least it looks like from the
Yeah,
outside looking in that it was a great
yeah,
experience. You played great hockey, and
yeah.
the team you played on was pretty good. Was Dakota Joshua on that team too?
That was 2 years before I got there. They were, I feel like, in the Frozen for 2 years before. The next year they weren't really good, and when my class we got it, or we started Ohio State, we became a good team again.
Yeah.
So my 2 years we were pretty decent, and didn't make it to the tournament my first year, but second year we did make it.
Did you get a lot of interest from colleges? Like who else was recruiting you hard besides Ohio State?
Well, it was hard. Like I remember, I did couldn't get in a lot of schools because of my ACT or SAT scores. So that was kind of a problem at the beginning. But as the recruitment went along the way, it was either BU or Ohio State. I was picking. But I think I made a very good decision to go to Ohio State. It was actually probably the best decision I ever like made to commit to Ohio State, because it was awesome, and I could have played almost right away. So it it worked out pretty well.
All right, yeah, I'll say so. So you come onto the scene this year. I mean, your first game against the Florida Panthers, you put up a shutout. How nervous were you going
Yeah.
into that game, Dobie?
I wasn't as nervous. I was more like just excited to play because it's a lot of, cameras, a lot of attention. So you kind of feel like you feel off, if you have a normal game, you just do your routine and stuff like that. But I feel like it was a lot of hours, a lot of not days, but a lot of time like that. I just was excited to go play because that's what I do best. I wasn't really the big fan of all the cameras, interviews before the game and stuff like that. So I was just glad that when the puck dropped, I can do what I can do the best. So that was kind of the relief there that when the puck dropped, I was just ready to go.
Yeah, just play hockey, and maybe
Yeah,
maybe it benefited you to have the game be on the road, right, in Florida versus being a home game
yeah,
here. There may have been, not may have been, but there
yeah,
would have been a lot more attention on you, you know?
for sure. I mean, like everyone likes attention, but it's to a certain point. I like to focus on my job, and I take a uh, I'm really proud in my routine and stuff I do. So it takes time. So you got to be really focused. So for me personally, I don't like to have a much attention or stuff going on before a game or before a game days because it kind of takes away something, and you might not feel as prepared as normal.
Wow. So, what type of routine do you have? Like, you have a full-on routine that starts in the morning that takes you all the way up until start of the game, or what?
No, it usually starts the night before. It starts the night before. You kind of like get in the mindset like, or I have a game tomorrow because if it's a practice day, I treat it different than it's a game day. And during a day, it's just it was a 1 p.m. game, which is also something that you don't really experience much on the road at Florida, where it's you usually go to the game at night and it's kind of dark or it gets darker and you get outside, you wake up and you're going straight to the game and it's super sunny. So that was definitely a little different. But as I said, it was actually pretty nice because I feel like I will be more nervous for the 7 p.m. game than the 1 p.m. game because you wake up and you just gotta go, the game is soon. So it was actually really nice that it was a 1 p.m. game.
Yeah, and you get a shutout, man. Um, that was cool. Did you know Matt Tkachuk at all here in town? I mean, he's older than you. He probably was gone before you got here.
I mean, obviously, I know who he is. I don't. We skated a couple times at the Maryville Ice Rink one summer when he was here, but he doesn't really come back here, so I don't know him on like a personal level,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. He comes back in the summertime, though. Dobie, we got to get you guys together for a little shootout competition or something. You know, like
Well, I'm always with Wex, so like I'm there, so I'm not sure
he
where
trains somewhere
he's
else.
working.
Yeah, he's training with
Yeah,
Chris. I think that, so everybody has different people they train with and stuff
yeah,
like that. So, do you see Joseph Wool a lot, who obviously has trained with Vex for a long time and
yeah,
doing his thing in Toronto?
yeah. He's awesome. Actually, like probably the best guy in our group. Just so open, works hard. No, he's in town, but he is not working out yet. So hopefully he will come back soon so we can chat because he's an unbelievable goalie. So I'm just excited to pick his brain and talk to him about the season.
Yeah, because he can relate to you, man. Like playing in Toronto, he's under
Yeah,
a microscope. He's in the spotlight just like you are. Like
yeah.
it's not the same throughout the league, right? Those are two markets and two organizations in the league that just get such an enormous amount of attention. It's like it's different, right? It's different.
No, it is. Definitely playing at a Bell Center or I think it's Scotiabank
Hmm.
in Toronto. It's you can feel it. You can feel that like the fans get more into it. You can feel kind of the pressure that it's not just a regular building. So for the first couple of games in the NHL, I kind of prefer to play away because I
Yeah.
feel like I was just more used to it. But playing in at home, it's just feels different. You just gotta be there and be on the ice and kind of feel it to experience or know what I mean. But definitely playing in those buildings, it's definitely more challenging and it takes more out of you playing in different arenas.
Yeah, no doubt about
That's
it.
how I feel.
Yeah, no, I think I could see that 100%, man. It makes sense. Your second NHL game, you go to Colorado, you win that game in a shootout. Then you beat
Yeah.
Washington. So, like, what was the big moment for you? Like, wow, I'm in the NHL. Was it facing Ovi? Was it going up against Makar and McKinnon? Was it Barkov and Matty Tkachuk? Like, what was the moment for you where you were like, wow, this is so cool, man. I'm playing in the NHL against the best players in the world.
Well, before a game, you definitely look at, you know their lineup, you know the history of the team, you know the players. So you're kind of like, what am I doing here? How am I going to be on the same ice as those guys? But I feel like once you step on the ice and you start playing, and you kind of just forget um, that they are even there. So I don't know. Like I feel like when you're on the ice and you share the same ice, you kind of forget, how big of a person or how big of a hockey player they are. At least for me, I just treat everyone, because I don't look at the player, I look at the puck, and the puck is the same. So feel like for me, it's a little different than maybe for other players. When you have matchups and you gotta put different players than different players. So for me, it's just a puck. So I feel like I'm lucky in that area that I don't really need to focus or look at the guy as much.
How's your French? Can you speak French now too? I mean, Dobby, if you learn French and English, I mean, and you're going to tell me your ACT score was low, I'm not going to believe you.
Oh, it's I tried over last summer to I had some basics, but it's so slang, and it's kind of with our schedule, fitting a French lessons over Zoom, it's kind of challenging. So I have a couple of basics, but I haven't progressed much. So definitely that's something that I wanna eventually learn, but yeah, still kind of a amateur in that area.
Yeah, no, I get it. Does the team offer that for you? Will they provide
Yeah,
French lessons for you?
yeah.
That's good.
It's for free. The team takes care of it, and you can take 1 or 2 lessons a week. But as I said, during the season with playing in the NHL and the travel, it's definitely doable, but it's definitely not easy to fit everything together, because the teacher have their own lessons and their life, and hockey players are kind of specific that you don't really have a weekends or stuff like that. So definitely not easy to fit in. uh, at least that's what I experienced.
Yeah. Did any players say anything to you on the ice? A welcome to the
In French?
NHL moment? No, just in general, just to say, hey, welcome to the league. Like any superstar players.
No, definitely. Against New York, when I feel like if we won the first 4 games when I was playing, and I was playing against New York, they definitely um, didn't take it easy on me. There's a lot of guys who definitely did their research and didn't take it easy on me, and but I like it. I like that stuff. Like I like when it gets kind of personal. So I don't take it as anything anything bad. I like when the guys show kind of attention to me on the ice.
What were they saying to you? Give me an idea what a chirp would sound like. How are they going to chirp you?
I remember Sherwood was saying that I will be in the NHL next week after we play them, and I remember like Trocheck and a couple of guys against New York when it was like um, 4-4 going to the OT, or in the second when they were scoring, or when they were up, they were talking a lot of crap. So there's a times where against Washington again in the series, I started on a bench, and it gets heated, so I kind of joined in, and after I got thrown out there, and they were like uh giving me a lot of crap about, hey, like you're not on a bench anymore. You gotta show up. You're not, no one is hiding you. So now you gotta back up your shit talking. So I was like, all right, that's perfect. And it was a good series. So um when we were shaking hands, it was kind of funny, to have a conversation with those guys. But at the end, it's all good. It's all fun. It's
Mhm.
all just part of the game.
It's part of the competition. So in the handshake line, the tone was different. Were they like, "Hey, great job, you got a great
Yeah,
future," type
yeah,
thing?
yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, during the series, it was definitely a lot. Like
Yeah.
I remember Wilson skating through my crease, staring me down. I remember a lot of guys just being vocal. Anytime I came close to the bench, I remember there was like a fight in game 3. Like Anderson and Wilson had a fight on the bench. I don't know if
Oh,
you
yeah, of course.
saw
Of
it.
course, yeah.
It was kind of started like I went left and I see, or I went right, I see Washington players. I went left, I see more Washington players, and I see just guys start grabbing each other, and I just went straight to the locker room, and I'm like, where is everyone? There's no one here for 5 minutes, and I look at the TV, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's a war out there. But yeah, they came like 5 minutes, 7 minutes later, after the last siren, and yeah, I find out kind of after a game what happened, and I don't know if it was purely because they were blocking my way, but yeah, it got pretty heated after the second intermission, or during the second intermission.
I love it, man. I love it. That was cool. I'm surprised their goalie. If you would have stayed out there, who knows? Maybe you and the goalie are going at it too. You know, but Tommy Wilson's my boy. He's been on my other podcast that I do with Cam Jansen. Man, love Tommy, and he's a great competitor too, man. But that's what he does.
Yeah,
You know, and Josh Anderson, as you
yeah,
know, he's a great competitor. So I
yeah.
I love seeing it. You know, especially during the Stanley Cup. You know, playoffs. Do you feel a different level of intensity? Like you feel like the playoffs just
Oh yeah,
completely different? Yeah.
different. It's I mean, for us, we had a lot of young guys who never experienced playoffs, so the first couple games we were kind of like, oh, what is this? Like this is not a like a real hockey season game. This is totally different. It's way more physical. It's way more personal. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's just a good cause. Like it's really fun if you look back, like how much you not hate each other, but how much you don't like each other
Mhm.
at one point, and like when everything is over, like and you shake your hands, you're like, all right, this was great. Like I cannot wait to do it again. So it's great. Playoff hockey, I'm so glad I could have experienced it,
Oh,
and that,
yeah.
everything that I have in as an experience, it's awesome.
How's Montalbo as a partner?
Oh, it's great. I actually great guy. Like we are really good friends. I'm going to his wedding in August. No, he's a really good guy. We have a good relationship, and we just want the best for each other. So definitely unbelievable partner to have. Like I'm really glad that I got him as my first NHL goalie partner. If you
Yeah.
That's how we say it.
Yeah, I love it. And then Marty St. Louis is great too, man. Like, has anybody taken you under their wing? Like, did you know guys pretty well down in Laval? Like, who's some of your closest friends that you're hanging out with on the team?
On a Montreal team, usually the young guys like Arbor Jacky. He played with me in Laval the year before for month or two, month and a half. So I got to know him. Slav, he's Slovakian, so we can speak the same language if we want to. Hudson, Demidov, like just Heineman, like the younger guys, like
Yeah.
we usually hang out together, grab dinner. So I feel like the better friends I have are the younger guys, but our whole team is really good. Like we have a really tight group. Like I cannot even put it into words how must we care for like how we care for each other on and off the guys.
Yeah.
I feel like we pretty much get in the playoffs because we had just a great group and we believed in ourselves and we wanted to do it for each another. So really good chemistry inside of our locker room.
Yeah. No, listen, man. You guys had a great run to get into the playoffs. It was an accomplishment. I'm a big fan of Marty St. Louis and Jeff Gordon and your entire like management staff. They've all been on our podcast, man.
Yeah.
I love Montreal, especially when you guys are having success like that. So it was fun to watch. And Jack Guy, man, he's crazy. You gotta watch out. You don't get on his bad side, Dobie. You know.
No, he's actually, I mean, he obviously, he is a switch, but he's not he's not like a crazy guy at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
He's really chill, like likes to do his own stuff, really into cars, likes to take care of his, I don't know, a bunch of cars he has, and during his free time and in the locker room, he's funny. He's, you know, a lot of energy coming out of him, but I wouldn't want to fight him when he gets mad.
No, no.
That's just trouble.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to make him really mad, because then you, there's not many chances for you to win. He is definitely something different when it comes to fighting.
Hey, a few more things for you. What about Lane Hudson, though, man? Like, did you think he would have that much success that quickly? Like, this guy is like from a different planet. Like, when you watch him skate, you're like, what is he doing? Like, how does he do? How's he doing that? You know what I mean? It's unreal. I mean, you get to see it every day in practice too.
No, it's the same thing during a practice, that same thing during a game. Just can't catch him. You can, and he will make you spin. Like he is different. It's hard to put it in words because I never seen it before. Like the stuff he does with that size and with his like all his abilities are just like, you cannot take the puck away from him. And his defensive game, it's pretty impressive too. Like he wins a lot of battles in the corners, and he has a good stick.
Hmm.
So for his first year, he did an amazing job. Just defensively, he was pretty good, and offensively, he was amazing. You know, so it's a exciting time for us, you know, having him on our team, because he was definitely a big part, you know, of our success
Yeah.
this year. So I think that was just a good addition, and we kind of knew from development camps and rookie camps and all of that that he's going to be different. It's just you can see it that he's on a different level than guys his age and guys in like the same type of area. Like you never play in the NHL, you try to make it, but he was just on a different level during all those rookie camps, development camps, and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I could ask you about Suzuki and Coffee. I could ask you about everybody on that roster, man, but I'm not going to do that to you. And any breaking news on your contract? We got a contract extension to announce yet, or what?
No, nothing. We haven't really started even having a conversations. I think there's still a lot of time, but my main priority is Montreal. I wish. I mean, I don't ever want to leave if I had a choice. So whatever I would, we just. I hope both sides will make it as easy as possible, and I want to come there and be here as soon as possible to prepare for next year and hopefully many years to come.
What's the next step for you as a NHL goaltender? What do you want to accomplish heading into next season now?
Definitely, being more consistent, playing more games, and making it to a playoff. Again, that's probably I played good amount. I'm really happy for my playing time that I got, but as a player, you always want to play more. So I just want to prove myself that I can play more than 20 games as a goalie. So I want to just take it to the next level, and there was definitely low consistency during those couple months where I wasn't as good as I wanted to, or as good as I usually was in the AHL or college. But that's normal being a rookie. Like you have your ups and downs, so definitely limit the downs and have more ups, and being just give more chances for my team to win. That's I feel like that's my mentality every year. Just be a winner and win as many games as possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got your head in a great spot, man. You'll be good. Couple more things real quick. Has the Czech Republic checked you? Have they reached out? Did they want you to come to the World Championships? Because I know you didn't get that opportunity as a young kid, World Juniors, U18s, and all of that. But there's still a lot of international tournaments ahead of you. What would it mean to put that jersey on and to represent your native country one day?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know how would that feel. I never experienced it, and I've been here in US since I was 14. So I love the United States a lot, and I don't really spend much time in Czech, which is I was born there. So that is definitely a tricky question where my heart is at and everything that might happen in the future, but I haven't, or I didn't need to make the decision yet, so I don't really think about it. We'll see what happens. I know there are Olympics in Italy next year, but I don't really think about that stuff, to be honest. We'll see what happens. I know there's some interest, but this year they didn't really wait for me to finish the season. They committed to their two goalies, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't really need to make many decisions. I don't know. I don't really think about the national team as much, maybe as different Czech players, but I'm mostly focused on my NHL career.
You're an American, is what you're telling me right there, Dobie.
I mean, I don't really want to say much because
I got you. Are you a U.S. citizen or no?
no, I really that would be probably one of the best things that could ever happen to me to receive a passport, but it's in the works, but it's not a nothing close to being done. But one day, definitely, I would love to be American or have a passport, but I don't know. I don't know how to really do it. So, as I said, the nationality and where I'm playing, and it's unknown, but I know I want to live in the United States or possibly Canada if I find a job there after my hockey career. But mainly, I feel the best in the United States. That's why I always come back here for the summer, and I always like coming back. When we are on a road trip, I like to. I always enjoy my time in US,
Yeah.
even though it's a funny story. Like the guys always need to give me a hotspot on the road in Canada because I have my
Canada
United
number.
States number, and I refuse to like give it up. So I don't have any data in Canada. So everyone is just making fun of me like you playing in the NHL and you don't have any data. I'm like, I know, but like I'm not going to just give up my phone number for 40 more data. I would just use you guys. I don't use them, but like I will use your guys.
Your
Like, I would
hotspot.
just wait. Yeah, I will just wait when we are at the hotel, and I'll be all good. But luckily, we have a lot of USA trips, so it works. It works pretty good.
I love it, man. Because I wasn't sure if you were going to get back to me. I didn't know if you changed your number or not. So I'm glad you didn't change your number.
No, I couldn't. If I have a lot of contacts, so like putting everything back together, I'm never giving up my number unless I really need to. But I like my phone number, so it's kind of funny because I have T-Mobile and they are not really good in Canada. It's
Dude, you
it's kind
gotta
of
listen
limited.
because I have to call Canada a lot, and I have a lot of people in Canada that I talk to. I have Verizon, and I've got the international plan, and it's unlimited in Canada and U.S. So just switch to Verizon, and you're all good. You keep the same phone number and everything. Okay?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I might look
Go
into.
to a Verizon store. I say I want the international plan, USA and Canada, and they'll hook you up. But you got to keep the same number. There's no doubt. Hey, how's your brother doing? And did your parents are they still over there in the Czech, or
Yeah,
are they coming? Because I remember talking to your mom a bunch too, man. She's the nicest lady. Love your
yeah.
brother. So what's the status of the family? Are they over here or where are they?
My brother lives 30 minutes from me in a different the family, and is the same thing as me. Like he wants to stay here as much as possible. He also loved the United States. Really, like he loves we love spending time here in St. Louis. So if we could, we would stay here as much as possible. But with our visas and everything, it's sometimes challenging. And my brother is going to play the college somewhere. We are trying to figure that out. It's in the works, and my parents are back home. And my mom, I was just there for a couple of days, and my mom is flying here in July to help me move or just spend some time. And yeah, eventually we will like for us to move to United States together. But it's pretty hard. Like my parents work and I don't have as many resources or money to like move the whole family here. So
Mm.
eventually, once they're ready to retire or leave their work, and I will have some space in the United States, like house or something like that, then eventually they will move here and we'll all live in the United States.
Yeah. You're gonna do that, buddy. Yeah, that'll happen. You know that day's coming. So that'll be an
Yeah,
exciting time. You got the
exactly.
right mindset, and your head is where it needs to be. Tell me the Marc-Andre Fleury story before I let you go, though. Didn't he come up and say something to you? And like, had you skated with him in the summertime or what?
So my goalie coach in AHL is really good friends, or they work together and they're friends, so they know each other. And I was in Montreal a lot last summer. So he was like, "Hey, like you are going to skate with Flower and one more guy," and we skated twice together. And we just kind of get to know each other. He's an unbelievable guy, really welcoming, really funny, really friendly. And so we skated twice. And during we kind of talk like during a season through our goalie coach, and it was kind of uh insane that like probably his last game at the Bell Center, he's French. He's going to be against me. So I'm like, I want to win this game. Like I love Flower, he's a great goalie, but I want to win this. Like, and he shuts us down, like puts up an amazing show. Like I texted my goalie coach from Laval. I was like, I got my ass whooped. That was crazy. So we were shaking hands. I didn't think I shared this. I want to keep it to myself what he said and what I said to him. It's kind of a I don't want to. It was nice. It was really warm what he said and what I said. So I don't think that's much context, for a podcast. It's more personal. So I would like to keep it being in between us. But as I said, he is a great person and definitely, definitely glad that I could share the ice with him because I've been watching him since I was a kid.
Yeah. It's personal, man. Keep that to yourself for sure. Like you don't need to share
Yeah.
that. That's between you and him. I love that, man. That you shared that story. So all the best, dude. I could not have been happier for you. I wanted to catch up with you in St. Louis. I waited, but it's like, game days are
No,
long days for the broadcasters too. We've got production meetings in the morning, and then you come back, early afternoon, you're there all day. You were on the ice for so long that morning. I'm like, I kept saying to your equipment guy, is he going to come off the ice? Like, I want to say hello to him, but you stayed out there forever. And then you ended up getting into the game that night, which was great to see you play here in St. Louis. So I don't know if you remember the morning skate, how long you were on the ice that day.
I know. I remember that day because we had a family dinner here. I drove all the way here to Wildwood from, I think we stayed in Clayton. So I drove to Wildwood, had dinner, saw the house, talked for a little bit, and the next day I was on the ice for a pretty long time. Wasn't, expecting to get put out there, but I feel like the coaches knew that I'm kind of from here, so they were like, uh, when it was like not reachable, they kind of threw me in there. But during that day, I lived with Kelly Chase, my first year at the Smet. I lived with him, and I knew, he was at a hospital at the time, so I didn't even nap, or I didn't even stay at the hotel during the game day. I skated, ate lunch. Mrs. Chase picked me up, and we spent some time with him at the hospital. And after I got back, put on my suit and went to the game, and I ended up playing, and he was watching the game. So it was a cool story, like that. Everything that happened, I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was meant to be. So definitely memorable day.
Yeah.
Um, during I don't know how long we stayed here, 2 3 days. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah. I knew that story. We passed that along on TV too, man. Chase has been in here, and we've had him on several times. Keep in touch with him. Everybody's obviously thinking about him too. But I'm not surprised that
Yeah.
they opened up their house to you when you were a young kid. So many families did here in St. Louis. I mean,
Yeah.
you've lived with several
It's
different families, Dobie. So
I live it. Yeah, I know definitely like great families around here, just like so naturally easygoing. Like
yeah,
I know a lot of guys that just live here, and like it's just great. I don't know, it's like it feels like home. Like I love coming back here because it's like every time you meet someone, you just have a good conversation, and you remember some stuff and you talk and you can talk for 2 more hours. It's good. It's good to be
Yeah.
here. I really, so I don't know. A lot of people don't even know where St. Louis or Missouri is at, or a lot of teammates ask me like, why do you go back to Missouri? I'm like, I don't know. It's awesome. They're like, there's nothing there. And like, yeah, but you just kind of, it's chill. You need to like experience it and you will like it. Like I told all my teammates, hey, come, like it's a great time here. We work hard. It's cool. You can golf and do a lot of stuff here. They were like, no, like I'm not going to Missouri for my summer. I'm like, all right, whatever. Just
Well, they
keep
know, man,
waiting. But
because
it's
Chris Weidman lives here. I know he's had some of the boys over here in the summertime. I think Caulfield's been here maybe once
yeah,
during the summertime. So, he's from Madison, so it's not like there's tons to do in Madison. Although Madison's a great town, so, or he played
yeah.
college hockey there, So Madison's a great town. I can't chirp Madison. What am I talking about? But anyway,
He was committed to Ohio State, so I still give him a lot
oh
of
really?
crap
He changed his
for
commitment.
to go, yeah, to be a Badger. I'm like, good for you, but we remember
Yeah,
that, But no, he's a great guy. Colley's amazing. A lot of the like best guy is to be around, always happy, always positive, always goofing around. So he's great.
All right, congrats on everything, man. I've kept you long enough.
Thank you.
I'll run into you at some point this summer. If I don't, then
Yeah.
then I'll see you during the season next year. But and looking forward to that as always, man. So keep up the great work, and love the fact that you come back to St. Louis and remember your roots, man. So all the best to you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. All right, Dobie. Take care, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Jakub Dobeš. Jamal Mayers, by the way, he's on assignment. He's in Toronto. Little crew, young crew's playing. So we'll catch up with Jamal next week. Of course, all of Jamal's appearances here on the Hockey Sense podcast, live from the Half Coast Studios, are brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, as well as the Bomarito Family and Restaurants. Jakub Dobeš, by the way, go to the AAA Blues Instagram or my Instagram story right now, or you can just reach out to me and message me on Instagram. But we are auctioning off a autographed signed jersey by each of the 5 St. Louis kids who are playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Matthew Brady, Trent Frederick, Jakub Dobeš being another one. There's 5 total. Check them out and bid on them, and then you can have a chance to get an autographed Jakub Dobeš jersey signed by him. Check it out. You have any questions on how to bid on it, to get your raffle tickets, or however they're doing it, it's through the AAA Blues. Reach out to me and I can help you out with that for sure. As always, Hockey Sense is brought to you by First Community. We love our friends over there at First Community. Oh, yes, we do. I mean, First Community, where do I start? They've got so many different options for you, so many different accounts you can start up. A vacation account where you can go play today and then pay tomorrow. And you can, save up some money for your vacation. If you don't have all the funds right now, don't worry about it. You don't need them. But they've got the home equity loan promos as well. It's official. Spring is here. So if you're like me, those warm, sunny days, they make you think about summer entertaining with friends and family. So it's a great time to spruce up your outdoor space with a total new look. Maybe you're ready for something new you've been wanting to do for a long time, like a new kitchen or a master bath. See, I love this about First Community. They're always finding ways to improve your life. And right now, First Community offering a first-line home equity loan for an amazing introductory rate of just 4.99%. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. 4.99% APR for the first 12 months. The current rate on this loan is 8.24%, but you won't pay that until next year. So no closing costs, no application fee. It's a great rate, but it won't last long. So jump in on this now. You can learn more online or give them a call. 888-642-7969. 888-642-7969. Of course, our friends at Dirt Cheap Fun Fun, your one-stop party shop. Download that app today. Do all your shopping online. Or you can just go there. Some places have Dirt Cheap locations, have drive-thrus. Many have the curbside pickup as well. So many options. Don't sleep on their party supplies. So if you've got graduation parties or anything else happening coming up, get everything you need from a Dirt Cheap location. Best beer, wine, and booze selection you'll find anywhere. They've got that incredible walk-in beer freezer, too, the beer cooler. So like on the really hot days, man, you can go hang out inside there. That'll keep you cool. But they've got everything over there at Dirt Cheap. Dirt Cheap Fun Fun, your one-stop party shop. Cheap, cheap. The Wallace family, flat out getting it done. Again, David Novak, 314-920-5713 for Blue Note Roofing. Give him a call today. Let him take care of you. If you suffered any damage from the recent storm, he's your guy. Again, 314-920-5713. All right, so Jamal Mayer's back next week. Jakub Dobes, Dobie, joined us on this edition. We appreciate all the support that we're getting each and every week here on Hockey Sense. I'm Andy Strickland for Aiden, for everybody affiliated with Half Coast Studios, reminding you to keep your hat up and your stick on the ice. We'll do it again next week. We go all year long with Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. Have a great weekend, everybody.